Hello, everyone. You are listening to Chase's podcast number 1. Today we have an interesting interview with a man named Alexander Smith, who is going to tell us about how he ended up marrying his wife of 58 years on a couch. The year is 1950, and Alex Smith is a young man living in Long Island, New York. Alex has known Patricia for several years through a young people's fellowship group at church. Little did he know that she would soon be his bride-to-be.
I met my wife Patricia at church in New York. I met her because we both belonged to the youth Christian organization at the church. I was going to night college. The Christian organization happened to meet on Wednesday evenings at the church, and that's how I met my wife. However, I didn't start out dating my wife. I started out dating her sister. Oh, it didn't work well at all. We really only took one date, and my wife Pat went with her boyfriend, and I happened to go with her sister on that.
In October 1950, Alex decides to join the Army. Then a few months later, during his time off for Christmas, Alex and Patricia start dating.
When I first got in the Army, I was dating a girl, Irene. I'd been going with Irene a while. I hadn't been going with Pat at all. We had still been friends. The first Christmas that I was in the service, I was in the Army. I came home for Christmas. Me and my buddies went out, partied, and had a pretty good time. And at New Year's time, there was a New Year's party at my girlfriend's house, Irene, for New Year's Eve. But Johnny Aid, who was one of my closest buddies at the time, he was going to Pat's house for a New Year's Eve party because he had gotten in with Pat's family and that's through the church also. So instead of letting me go to Irene's house for the party, we went to Pat's house. And that's when I started dating Pat. It was after that in New Year's. I never went with Irene again. While I was in the Army, when I came home, we dated, and then we got engaged.
Alex and Patricia decide to postpone their marriage until they were sure his tour in the Army was about to be completed. Then finally, in August 1952, Alex and Patricia got married at Patricia's home in Long Island, New York.
The difficulties really started the night before the wedding, at the bachelor's party. I ended up in Yorktown drinking beer all over Yorktown, New York, and it was probably the beer center of New York City. My buddy Johnny Aid, he was a longshoreman in New York, and he was friendly with a lot of the ships that came in and out of the port. We ended up on one of the boats in the New York harbor, got to partying there on the boat, and it was leaving in the morning with his freight for Europe. We partied, and then the ship's getting ready to leave. We get off the boat at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I immediately went home. And so then we went to the wedding in the afternoon. In the course of the wedding, I got to feeling a little faint, and my best man, Alex Mortimer, he got to feeling a little bit sick. And we were being married in Pat's father's house. Pat's father ran and got a bucket for Alex Mortimer, who we thought was going to get sick right there. And of course I felt a little dizzy, and my mother started yelling that it has to be the flowers. The flowers affect Alex. You know, they were all over the living room. And so the minister was very kind. He told us he could marry us sitting on the couch. And so we sat down, and he stood over us and married Pat and I successfully.
Surprisingly enough, nobody was upset at Alex and his friend for their late night. The wedding concluded and Pat and Alex left for their honeymoon.
Everything went well at the house after that, and we sneaked away in a secret automobile to New York that they weren't expecting to be at the house. For the beginning of our honeymoon, we stayed in Tyrone Power's apartment in New York City. And so they just kept having a party at Pat's father's house. And my father, who always drank a good bit, always ended up playing the piano. That's what happened after we left. My father started playing the piano in the living room there, and they just all had a good time. And all sorts of Scotch songs and American war songs. They just had a good time with piano playing. My father enjoyed it.
Alex says he regrets staying out so late and wishes he could have stayed home and got a good night's sleep. But despite the unusual wedding ceremony, Alex and Patricia have been married for over 58 years. They have 3 children who have given birth to 4 grandchildren, and on January 11th, Pat and Alex welcomed their first great-grandchild, William Alexander Lennon.